What's going on, everyone? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I wanted to make a follow-up video for the Lil Tay videos that I made not too long ago, because there was the whole death hoax thing and everybody was wondering what was happening, and then it came out that it wasn't true, and then there was speculation saying, oh, it was the dad that did it, and now we actually have a video. Lil Tay went live on Instagram, and she dropped like a 20-minute live, and she didn't save it, so people had to screen record it and save it and whatnot. And it was pretty interesting because here's the thing. The position that I take right now is I want to believe Lil Tay, because Lil Tay says that her father has been behind all the abuse and why she disappeared. There's been some ongoing legal battles, and there's been a lot of abuse and a lot of crazy stuff going on. The other problem of that is because it's like, I want to believe her. She comes with some receipts, looks pretty compelling, but I also have not heard a single word from the dad's mouth or his side whatsoever. And the thing is, it doesn't look like he's even trying to defend himself. So it's like, what could you even think? Like, it's hard to have the full picture when you don't see him trying to come out and say anything. If he is, I mean, damn, I haven't seen anything, because there's just a few things that don't really line up to me as far as like the abuse goes. Now, the thing is, it doesn't always have to make sense. Like, the reason why I can easily believe Lil Tay, because she goes through some stuff that she suffered. She talks about, one of the first things she talks about is her dad is abusive, and he's a pervert, and he's done some weird stuff, not specifically to her, but he would like bring girls over and like he would bang them with Lil Tay in the room.
He was bringing, when I was living with him, these are all events that happened before I became famous, because he had not been in my life for years before then. He was bringing random ass women around all the time and literally hooking up with them in front of me. I was a child.
Now, the thing is, Lil Tay goes into detail about one thing that happened, and it's like when people talk about trauma and stuff like that, it seems very real to me. It seems very real. Okay, it could be scripted, but it just, to what end, really? To what end is the thing that I'm wondering. Because from what I'm kind of gathering in my own interpretation is that maybe there's some truth in all of the sides. Maybe not everything she's saying is true, but there is like some abuse that definitely did happen, but then maybe certain things are exaggerated. I don't know. So she shows some interesting stuff. Like, she shows that, the dad was completely gone from Lil Tay's life, and then when Lil Tay started blowing up, started making all that clout stuff, like trying to be like a hype beast type of Rice Gum, and try to, she beefed with Whoa Vicky and the Catch Me Outside girl. She started blowing up, so apparently the dad came back on the life, and that's when things got crazy, and that's when she went away.
And my abusive absentee father, who had not been in my life for years up till that point, decided to come back into my life to take control over my career and my money. That's why I disappeared.
She shows that, hey, she wasn't taken care of properly. She shows that she had shoes that were all busted up. Like, she just had really messed up shoes going to school. Now, the thing is, she didn't really clarify if this was before or after the fame. I'm assuming it was before, but then at the same time, I'm like, I thought he wasn't in the life. So it's kind of like, I don't know, things like that don't really add up to me per se, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. It's just one of those things where I don't have the picture, the perfect picture, because she supports this with saying, my shoes were messed up. They wouldn't give me new shoes, but all the money that Lil Tay was receiving was going to her dad's girlfriend or whatever, and she was getting all these fancy purses, and she shows like a text message that shows the pictures and like this, like everything. I'm like, this seems horrible. She shows pictures of her being abused, like she has all these markings and stuff. These were things that have went around, and I'm like, she said that the dad and his side of the family like were complicit in abusing her as well. It was just a lot of physical and psychological and emotional abuse. She talked about being locked in a room and being forced to watch, I think it was The Bride of Chucky, and she was a little kid and she was terrified. And there was all these things that just really messed with her. Like, she goes into detail about some of these things that make me think like, yeah, this seems like there is some truth to this. But at the same time, I wonder about Lil Tay's mom. Like, Lil Tay says that she completely supports her mom. Her mom's been supportive and been nice. Back when Lil Tay was going to school, and the dad and the stepmom or whatever, the girlfriend would try to send her to school with like disgusting moldy foods with and lunch and all this stuff. And then she said that the mom would like try to send her like good food, send her to school with good food, but then the dad would get mad that they're not in. Like, when I hear about this stuff, it sounds insane. It really does. It sounds completely insane to me. It almost sounds unbelievable. It sounds like one of those things that where it's like, how could this go this far? I mean, it seems like easily the police would be called and then this stuff would be, it would be settled. The only problem I have with that is I've seen a countless amount of examples where the justice system, where cops and whatnot completely fail kids that are being abused. You hear about kids getting abused and then stuff happens, and then all of a sudden it's like when things finally getting taken to court and the kids didn't get taken away right away, then the abusive parent acts out and sometimes just ends them, just snuffs them out. Like, you've heard abusive kids not changing their diaper. You've heard insane horror stories for things that don't make sense whatsoever. And so I can't just be like, since this doesn't add up, this isn't real or something. And since a lot of people don't like the mom or don't like the parents at all, thinking, how could you let any of this stuff happen? Like, why would you let your kid be involved in any of this hype beast stuff or anything? Like, you have to be a horrible parent to let this stuff happen. And I have to agree, because even Lil Tay says the dad came back. Let's say this is true. The dad came back when she started blowing up. So that means the mom was behind the whole hype beast, rice gum type of Lil Tay character. And then when Lil Tay says this court stuff has all been resolved, and now she just wants to get back to her life, she immediately drops a music video. You got me screaming at the top of my lungs, I must be dreaming. Now she drops this video, right? And then she's all poppy and dancing kind of promiscuous, and a lot of people were a little uncomfortable, and I totally understand, because, you know, it's like, it's questionable, but it's one of those things at the same time. I'm like, let's not act like this hasn't been going on for like forever. I mean, I remember being a little kid and Britney Spears debuting with Hit Me Baby One More Time, and she's in that kind of schoolgirl outfit looking kind of, I'm like, it's kind of straddling the line, and she's like 16 years old or something. And so it's like, let's not act like this hasn't been happening all the time. But it shows you that, I mean, I guess this is what she wants to do, or maybe her mom still has her claws sunk in her, because it is kind of confusing that you like, sure, it's not hype beast and all like cringy because that stuff died out. I mean, rice gum is nowhere to be found and all that. But at the same time, it's just kind of weird that this is the attention you want to get at. Like, why I guess it really makes me scratch my head is that Lil Tay is actually really talented, because along with this live that she did airing out everything, she shows there's a clip of her playing Master of Puppets. And then there's a clip of her playing the piano, and she's phenomenal. She's a phenomenal musician. She's way better than me. She's way better than me, because I don't play that clean and I don't play the piano at all like that. I'm just like, yo, she's classically trained. She knows what she's doing. I imagine maybe she has an interest in this type of stuff. Like, who just plays Master of Puppets if they're not into metal or if they're not into Metallica? right? I don't think her mom would force her to play Metallica. It doesn't even make sense. So it's kind of like, all right, I mean, you can be in a pop and be in the metal at the same time. I am. But, I mean, I just hope, like, is she actually doing this because she wants to do this? I mean, at the beginning of that pop video that she dropped, there's a shot where she's in a car with, I'm assuming, her mom and her brother, which kind of just said, like, it says everything to me that, like, narcissistically, the mom had to just be in the video. Like, I want to be like this. Boom. I'm got to be a part of this. I know this is Lil Tay's venture, but I want to be a part of it. It always reminds me of, like, Puff Daddy that would be in everybody's video, right? You got to be dancing up in everybody's stuff, and you got to be talking and saying all this shit. I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, this is Biggie's song. And now you're going to be, like, saying all this stuff and whispering stuff. I'm like, shut up, dude. But I digress. I feel like there's just some weird stuff going on to where we don't have the perfect picture. I feel like there's still some weird stuff going on with her mom, but Lil Tay feels compelled to defend her. I don't know if all the stuff that she alleges in the video is totally true, but the thing is, at the end of the day, I do want to give her the benefit of the doubt. Some people saying don't because of all the stuff she's been involved in before, but I say she's a kid, and I mean, she's in one way or another she would be manipulated. It's not like she's doing it all on her own. I know some kids are capable of doing some crazy stuff, but not to this magnitude. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, man, I hope, like, say when she becomes an adult, she can really truly be independent and we can really know what's going on and really know everything of the full picture. Or I would love to make a follow-up video if the dad, if Chris Hope, I think she said, wants to come out and actually clear the air and say something and maybe come with some receipts himself. Maybe if there's something that we can learn, or maybe he just is a complete scumbag and that's just all there is to it, and he did all the crazy things that he did. If that's the case, obviously, burn in hell. But it's a crappy situation nonetheless, man. It's a crappy situation nonetheless. I hope that I truly hope that Lil Tay is happy. I hope that what she's doing now with this venture and this pop thing that she's doing, because it does have like a few million views, man. It's doing well. I hope she's truly, this is what she wants to do, and she's actually like, all right, this is the route I want to go down. And it's not one of those things where it's like, no, I'm going to groom you into what I want you to do, which clearly how she started off. Because you even saw the behind the scenes stuff where she's like trying to do her Lil Tay character, and then she's not really getting it right. She's not saying the right lines, and I think her brother is like coaching her. So it's not like she's into it. It's not like that was her personality. So it is what it is, man. That's where it's at. Let me know what you guys think about this. Maybe you guys have a different take on me. I'm a little bit split on this, but I am leaning more towards just giving Lil Tay the benefit of the doubt, because you really do want to believe abuse victims at the end of the day. You really do want to believe that they wouldn't just make up crazy stuff like this. That is the position that you should take by default. But yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.